Stop settling for surface-level attraction. There are 6 things that speak to her soul deeper than money. Stick around till the end, because the 6th one is a game changer that rewires your connection and shifts everything. And trust me, missing it means missing what truly builds real intimacy. We live in a world of profound distraction, a world designed to pull your awareness into 1,000 different directions at once. The mind is like a restless monkey, jumping from branch to branch, from thought to thought, from notification to notification. And in this constant state of movement, we lose the ability to truly be where we are. We sit with someone we care for, a friend, a partner, a family member, and yet we are not fully there. A part of our mind is elsewhere, worrying about the future, replaying the past, or simply waiting for the vibration of our phone. This fragmentation of our attention is the great poverty of our time. It is a subtle starvation of the soul. To offer someone your undivided presence is to give them one of the rarest and most precious gifts in the modern world. It is more valuable than any physical object you could purchase. Why? Because when you give your presence, you are giving your life. You are giving a segment of your finite time on this earth, focused and consecrated entirely to another being. It is a silent declaration that says, in this moment, nothing else in the universe is more important than you. This is an act of profound generosity. It creates a space, a sacred container where the other person feels seen, heard, and acknowledged on a level that words alone cannot achieve. It is a deep, non-verbal communication of value and respect. Think of it like this. Money can buy you a beautiful dinner at a fine restaurant. It can create a beautiful setting. But if, during that dinner, your attention is fractured, if your mind is on your work or your phone, then the setting is merely a hollow stage. The connection is not there. The true nourishment is absent. But if you can sit with someone, perhaps with just a simple cup of tea, and offer them the entirety of your awareness, listening not just to their words, but to the feeling behind them, observing the light in their eyes, feeling the energy in the space between you, that is where true communion happens. That is a memory that will sustain the heart long after the taste of the expensive meal has faded. Cultivating this presence is a practice. It is the training of the mind to come back again and again to the here and now. It is the discipline of noticing when the monkey mind has jumped to another branch and gently, without judgment, guiding it back to the present moment. This is not easy. It requires effort. It is a form of strength. When a person, man or woman, demonstrates this ability, the ability to put everything else aside and create a sanctuary of pure attention, they are offering a form of deep security. They are communicating that they have a level of self-mastery. They are not a slave to their impulses or the external world's demands. This quality of focused, calm, and loving attention is a powerful force of attraction because it speaks to a well-cultivated inner world. It is a treasure that cannot be mined from the earth or printed by a machine. It can only be cultivated within. Inner stillness. Consider a deep mountain lake. On the surface, the wind may blow, ripples may form, and rain may fall. But deep below, there is a profound stillness, an unshakable calm. The chaos of the surface does not disturb the depths. This is a metaphor for the human mind. The surface of our mind is often in turmoil, disturbed by the winds of daily life, stress, anxiety, anger, frustration. Most of us live our entire lives on this chaotic surface, tossed about by every changing circumstance. We react to everything. Our peace is fragile, easily stolen by a traffic jam, a harsh word, or an unexpected bill. This is a state of internal poverty, regardless of how much external wealth one has accumulated. To cultivate inner stillness is to learn to access the depths of the lake. It is the ability to remain centered and calm even when the surface of your life is turbulent. This is not about suppressing emotions or becoming a cold, unfeeling stone. It is the opposite. It is about creating so much space and stillness within yourself that you can hold and observe your emotions without being controlled by them. You can feel anger, but you do not become anger. You can feel anxiety, but you do not become anxiety. You are the deep, still water that holds the ripple, not the ripple itself. This quality is incredibly magnetic. It is a source of profound strength and security, not just for oneself, but for everyone around. When a person has cultivated this inner stillness, they become a harbor in a storm for others. In a world that is increasingly frantic, anxious, and reactive, a calm and stable presence is a sanctuary. When everyone else is panicking, the person with inner stillness is the one who can think clearly, act wisely, and offer a sense of perspective. They do not add their own reactivity to the fire, they bring the cooling water of their own peace. This is immensely attractive because it is what the human nervous system craves on a primal level: safety. Money can buy a secure house with alarms and locks, but it cannot buy the feeling of emotional safety that comes from being with someone who is not easily shaken, someone whose internal world is a place of peace. This stillness is not a gift you are born with. It is a skill you develop through dedicated practice. It comes from meditation, from mindful breathing, from spending time in nature, from learning to disconnect from the constant stream of external stimulation. It is the practice of repeatedly turning your awareness inward, away from the noise of the world and toward the quiet of your own being. A person who has done this work carries a certain gravity. Their presence is calming. Their words have more weight because they are spoken from a place of depth, not reactivity. This silent stability, this inner peace, is a form of wealth that radiates outward. It tells a partner, "With me, you are safe. The storms of life will come, but here, in this space with me, you will find a place to rest and be still." Clear purpose. Imagine two ships setting sail. One ship has a captain who knows his destination with absolute clarity. He has a map, a compass, and a deep, unshakable reason for his journey. The other ship has no destination. Its captain simply drifts, pushed and pulled by the changing winds and currents. Which ship would you feel safer on? Which journey would you want to join? The answer is obvious. The ship with a clear destination inspires confidence, trust, and a sense of adventure. The drifting ship inspires anxiety and a feeling of being lost. This is the difference between a life lived with purpose and a life lived without it. A clear purpose is the internal compass that guides all of your actions. It is your why. It is the reason you get out of bed in the morning, the meaning that fuels your efforts, and the star that guides you through the darkest nights. This is not necessarily about having a grand, world-changing mission. A purpose can be simple and profound: to be a good father, to create beauty, to alleviate suffering in your community, to master a craft, to live a life of integrity. The content of the purpose is less important than its clarity and the conviction with which it is held. A person who is guided by a clear purpose has a direction and an energy that is palpable. This quality is profoundly attractive because it signals vitality and meaning. A person without a purpose often seems adrift, their energy scattered. They may chase fleeting pleasures, money, status, entertainment, but there is an underlying sense of emptiness. Their life lacks a narrative, a driving force. They are easily swayed by trends and the opinions of others because they have no internal anchor. In contrast, a person with a clear purpose is rooted. Their decisions are not random, they are aligned with their ultimate aim. They know what to say yes to, and just as importantly, what to say no to. This creates a life of coherence and integrity. Money can provide the means for a journey, but it can never provide the destination. It can buy the ship, the fuel, and the supplies, but it cannot give the captain a reason to sail. A life dedicated solely to the accumulation of money is like a ship that sails in circles, collecting more and more cargo, but never reaching a meaningful port. It is a journey of acquisition, not a journey of meaning. A woman, or any person seeking a deep connection, is not drawn to the cargo on the ship. She is drawn to the captain's clarity of vision. She is drawn to the adventure of a life that is going somewhere meaningful. When a man has a purpose that is larger than himself, it elevates him. It requires him to grow, to develop discipline, to overcome obstacles. It gives his struggles meaning and his successes a deeper resonance. Being with such a person is inspiring. It feels like you are part of something significant. It provides a shared direction and a sense of forward momentum. This sense of being on a meaningful journey together is a powerful bonding agent. creating a partnership that is resilient and dynamic. It is a connection built not just on mutual affection, but on a shared path toward a worthy destination. That is a richness that money cannot begin to comprehend. Unseen strength. When we think of strength, our minds often jump to the physical. The strength of muscles, the ability to lift heavy things. But there is a deeper, more essential form of strength that is unseen. It is the strength of the spirit. It is resilience. Think of the bamboo in a storm. It does not stand rigid and unmoving like an old oak tree, which can be snapped in two by a powerful gust. The bamboo bends, it yields to the force of the wind, sometimes bending all the way to the ground, but it does not break. And when the storm passes, it straightens up again, still rooted, still alive. This is unseen strength. It is the capacity to endure hardship, to face adversity, to experience pain, and to not be broken by it. This inner fortitude is a quiet power. It is not loud or boastful. It is the silent ability to get back up after being knocked down again and again. It is the courage to be vulnerable, to admit when you are wrong, to face your own shadows and do the difficult inner work required for growth. It is the emotional endurance to support another person through their own struggles without losing yourself. This is the bedrock of a reliable character. It is the quality that lets you know that this person will not crumble when life gets difficult. And life will inevitably get difficult. Sickness, loss, failure, and disappointment are parts of the human experience. Why is this more valuable than money? Because money is a fair weather friend. Money can solve certain types of problems. It can pay for medical care. It can fix a broken car. It can keep the lights on. But it cannot solve the problems of the heart or the spirit. Money cannot sit with you in the dark night of the soul. It cannot offer you courage when you are afraid. It cannot hold your hand and give you the will to keep going when you feel like giving up. In those moments, which are the true tests of life and of love, money is powerless. In those moments, the only thing that has any real value is the unseen strength of the human spirit. To be with someone who has cultivated this strength is to feel a profound sense of security. It is to know that you are partnered with someone who is a warrior in the truest sense of the word. Not a warrior who fights others, but one who has fought their own inner demons and has learned to master themselves. They do not run from discomfort. They have learned to use it as a catalyst for growth. This resilience is deeply attractive because it creates a partnership that is anti-fragile. It means that when the relationship faces challenges, the bond will not just survive, it has the potential to become even stronger. This strength is not an accident. It is forged in the fires of difficulty. It is built through consciously facing your fears, through taking responsibility for your life, and through choosing integrity over convenience time and time again. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you have been through storms before and you are still standing. A person who possesses this quality becomes a pillar for others. They demonstrate that it is possible to be both soft and strong, both compassionate and resilient. This combination is the essence of a mature, dependable human being, and its value is immeasurable. Deep understanding. We all have a deep, fundamental need to be understood, not just to be listened to, but to be truly seen and felt by another person. It is the feeling that someone else grasps our inner world, our hopes, our fears, our joys, our wounds, without judgment. Most communication remains on the surface. We exchange words, facts, and opinions, but the deeper currents of feeling and meaning go unacknowledged. We talk, but we do not truly connect. This leaves us with a subtle but persistent sense of loneliness, even when we are surrounded by people. Deep understanding is the ability to listen beyond the words. It is the practice of empathy. It is the willingness to momentarily set aside your own perspective, your own ego, and your own story, to try and inhabit the world of another. It is to ask not just, "What did you say?" but "What did it feel like for you?" It is to listen with your whole being, with your ears, your eyes, and your heart. When someone offers us this kind of attention, it is a profound act of love. It validates our experience and affirms our existence. It says, "You make sense. Your feelings are valid. You are not alone in this." This quality is infinitely more precious than money because it is the key that unlocks true intimacy. Money can facilitate shared experiences, but it cannot create a shared emotional reality. You can be on the most luxurious vacation in the world with someone, but if you do not feel understood by them, you will feel utterly alone. Conversely, you can be in the most humble of circumstances, but if you are with someone who truly understands you, you will feel richer than a king. True wealth is not in what you have, but in the quality of the connections you share. And the bridge to that connection is understanding. Cultivating this ability requires patience, humility, and curiosity. It requires us to slow down and resist the urge to immediately give advice, to fix the problem, or to share our own related story. So often, when someone shares their pain with us, we rush to offer solutions, but often what is needed is not a solution, but a witness, someone to simply be with us in our feeling, to hold that space with us. This is a difficult skill. It requires us to be comfortable with another's discomfort, to sit with their pain without trying to extinguish it. This is a rare and powerful form of support. A person who has cultivated the art of deep understanding is a balm for the soul. They create relationships where others feel safe enough to be their whole, authentic selves, flaws and all. They know that they can bring their messiness, their confusion, and their vulnerability without fear of rejection or judgment. This creates a bond of unshakable trust. It is what allows a relationship to become a true partnership, where two people can help each other heal and grow. This ability to make another person feel truly seen and accepted is the essence of emotional nourishment. It is a gift of the spirit, a form of love so pure and powerful that no amount of money could ever hope to replicate it. Honest being. In a world filled with masks, filters, and carefully curated personas, authenticity is an act of rebellion. It is a declaration of freedom. To be an honest being is to live in alignment with your true self. It means your inner reality and your outer expression are congruent. There is no gap between who you are and who you present yourself to be. This is not about being brutally honest in a way that hurts others, nor is it about oversharing every thought and feeling. It is a more subtle and profound quality. It is integrity. It is wholeness. It is the quiet confidence of a person who is at peace with who they are. This quality, which we can call honest being, is the foundation upon which all other virtues are built. Presence, stillness, purpose, strength, and understanding. All of these are hollow if they are not rooted in a genuine self. A person can feign presence or pretend to be calm, but if it is a performance, it will eventually crumble under pressure. The energy of inauthenticity is something we can feel, even if we cannot name it. It creates a sense of unease, a lack of trust. We sense that we are interacting with a representative, not the real person. This makes true connection impossible. Authenticity is so powerfully attractive because it grants permission for others to be authentic as well. When you encounter someone who is unapologetically themselves, comfortable with their strengths and their imperfections, it creates a space of profound relief. You feel that you can also lower your own mask. You don't have to perform. You don't have to pretend to be smarter, stronger, or more put together than you are. This is the ultimate freedom in a relationship. It is the freedom to be fully human, together. This is a treasure that cannot be bought. In fact, the pursuit of money and status often leads us further away from our honest being, encouraging us to wear masks that we think will be more successful or accepted. To cultivate this honest being is the ultimate journey of self-discovery. It is the work of a lifetime. It involves stripping away the layers of conditioning, the false beliefs, and the fears that prevent us from living our truth. It requires the courage to be vulnerable, to show our real selves, even at the risk of being judged or rejected. But this vulnerability is not weakness. It is the birthplace of connection. It is only when we are brave enough to show who we truly are that we can be truly loved for who we are. To be loved for a mask you wear is a lonely and hollow victory. A person who embodies this quality has done the deepest work. They have chosen truth over approval. They have chosen integrity over convenience. Their life is a testament to the beauty of a soul that is undivided. When a woman or anyone looks for a life partner, they are, on the most fundamental level, looking for a soul they can trust. Trust is not built on a bank statement. It is built on character. And the core of a trustworthy character is this honest being. It is the ultimate security, the final and most powerful key. It is the simple, profound, and unshakable truth of who you are, offered freely to another. This is the greatest wealth. So you see, it was never about the money. It was never about what you can buy or what you can display. The greatest attraction, the deepest love, is drawn to the quality of your being. It is drawn to the peace you carry, the presence you offer, the purpose that guides you, the strength that upholds you, the understanding that connects you, and the truth that is you. To cultivate these is to become a sanctuary for another human soul, and that is a wealth no currency can ever hope to measure. I've spent years chasing status and success, thinking that's what makes you valuable. This just shattered that entire illusion. The part about unseen strength, being a safe harbor for someone else, that's what my grandfather was for me. It's a completely different way of looking at what it means to be a man. Thank you for this clarity. I have a lot to think about.